to compare the questions.
Yes.
So I'll get you in to repeat the questions when people ask them. And then
Sure.
These are just stunned, as I heard somebody once say.
So I'm going to say a few words and then ask Dr. Ali to come up and say a few words. Then I'll go into proper introduction. Okay?
Sure.
How are we? Well, good afternoon, everyone. I think you all know who I am, and I'm here today to welcome you to the inaugural Professorial Lecture by Professor Al-Bulushi on Transnational Educational Partnerships. Professor Al-Bulushi, as many of you know, is Dean of our partnership Caledonian College of Engineering in Oman, but he's accompanied today, very specially, by the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the College, Dr. P. Muhammad Ali. Dr. Ali is an honorary doctor of the university and a long-time friend of our institution, and he's provided exemplary leadership for the college and for our partnership during 22 years of our working together. And today he received the university's first ever Premier Partnership Award. So I'd like you to congratulate Dr. Ali. And before I introduce Professor Al-Bulushi, I'd like to invite Dr. Ali up to the stage to say just a few words before I introduce our key speaker. Dr. Ali.
Thank you. Professor Ahmed Al-Bulushi, Dean, Principal, and Vice Chancellor of this wonderful university. First of all, thank you for that special mention and the special award for the Friendship Partnership Award. Thank you. Our journey began 22 years before, as you said correctly, and during that 22 years, there was, you corrected me, but I even don't remember that there was no time that we had any difference of opinion. It was a wonderful, smooth sail, and both of us, both the institution has benefited, enriched, and we have graduated over 6,000 students and added to your alumni. Thank you very much. Yes, sir, that's great. And during that journey, there were three distinct captains, which I would say Professor Bulushi and Frank McIntosh, then Ahmed, Dr. Ahmed. There are three people. Of course, before that, there are the people who have come for a short time on an acting role, but distinct personalities. I do remember that they laid the strong foundation and then built on and added on. And I'm once again grateful that you are recognizing our Dr. Ahmed's role in this institution building, and that recognition is also a glory to our institution, because you are honoring our dean. Thank you, and I feel very great about that. During his time, I would say that the college has seen the maximum number of students. Our student population has grown to 4,000, and we had focused on more on research, and we had 26 MOU signed with various universities and colleges on specific on research. And there's a student's experience. Of course, you have our two of the young girls sitting here who has graduated last year. They will say the students' experience is also enhanced, and they are very happy on that. Most recently, we are accredited by the Oman Accreditation Authority, and we are the first engineering college graduated, although there are Sultan Qaboos University had earlier established, but we are the first one, and others are still waiting. So we are very happy to let you know that we are your child. You brought us from the infancy, and I'm glad that we are now graduating to a university. We are just launching the National University of Technology and Health Sciences. So we will continue to be partnered with you in many of the programs and the master's program. And as we discussed, that we will continue the same process on the undergraduate to the master's level. And we make sure that the Scottish bagpiper blows every graduation in Oman. And Dr. Ahmed's this recognition he truly deserves. I congratulate you on this.
Thank you.
And thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
And now to Professor Al-Bulushi. Professor Al-Bulushi has a PhD in management from Argosy University, Chicago, having earlier obtained an MBA from the University of Bedfordshire and a B.Ed from the University of Bristol. So he knows our higher education system well. He began his career as an educator in 1986, and before joining the Caledonian College of Engineering in 2010, was the Deputy Dean of the first ever private college established in Oman, where he spent 15 years teaching, researching, and developing academic programs, QA systems, and standards. Professor Al-Bulushi is the recipient of a prestigious Fulbright scholarship and was also awarded the Best Teacher Appreciation Certificate by the Ministry of Education in Oman. Under his deanship, the Caledonian College of Engineering has continued to excel as one of the largest private providers of higher education engineering programs in Oman, and it's branching out beyond engineering now. And it has a reputation for producing high-quality graduates, contributing significantly to the economic development and social capital of Oman. The college has received many, many awards in recognition of its contribution, such as the Green Education Award, Asia Engineering Education Award, and more recently, the 2017 BET Middle East Leadership Award. That's a really prestigious award. So we must warmly congratulate the college. As Dr. Ali has said, after many, many years of proving its worth to the Ministry of Higher Education in Oman, it's now become part of the new University of Science and Technology in that country. And this is a huge accolade to Chairman Dr. Ali and to all the staff and students of the Caledonian College of Engineering. It's an amazing achievement. Professor Al-Bulushi has nurtured the special relationship that the college has with our university and has shown remarkable integrity and professionalism in steering the college through what has to be, for all of us, challenging economic times. He was awarded an honorary professorship of the university in 2017, and he and the college have pledged their commitment, as you heard just now, to continue our special partnership as the college assumes its mantle of university status. So, without further ado, I'd now like to welcome Professor Al-Bulushi to present his professorial lecture entitled Transnational Education Partnerships, Critical Success Factors. Professor Al-Bulushi.
Thank you. Thank you. Take it to slideshow. The slideshow. There is slide. This is not slideshow. Okay. Perfect. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bihi nasta'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and very good afternoon to all of you. Professor Pamela Gillis, the Vice Chancellor Principal of GCU, I really appreciate your nice words in introducing me. Most importantly, bestowing me with the professorial title and recognizing my little contributions to this relationship. Dr. P. Muhammad Ali, the beloved Chairman of Board of Directors, Caledonian College of Engineering, without your support and belief in me, what we have said wouldn't have been possible. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about this transitional education in the context of our relationship between GCU and CCU Oman. It's a journey of not without challenges. We have a saying that when you put two places together, they make sounds. So leave alone putting two organizations together and trying to achieve a common goal. There definitely be different sounds, good as well as bad. You will notice that in my speech, I will be talking about all good stuff, but you need to also read, underline, and also concentrate on the words used, just like we do when we read company reports. The company reports, when you read them, they look so beautiful because they're well written, very well chosen vocabulary. Same thing I did here. Because of my business education, I did the same thing in here, but you need to read all between those lines. Before I start, I would like to dedicate this lecture to all the people who has contributed in the success of this relation. There are so many people from both sides have really worked very hard in making this transitional a successful experience. The actual action started in 1996, but I would like you also to keep in mind 1995, because that's when the actual discussion has started about this relation. And I also would like you to think of the environment of 1995. The environment at that time is not as it is now. Now, if you talk about transitional education, oh yes, let's go. Let's go to the internationalization of academic. Oh yeah, it's beautiful, let's go and do it. At that time, there were no history, no records, and no experience. Somebody coming from 1,000 miles away to GCU giving a proposal, we would like to do this. Imagine the amount of challenge and resistance has taken place to make this project or make this transition a successful one. Imagine the legal environment at that time, the processes, the practices, the legislation of UK at that time. These are all barriers. And it was not, so therefore it was never a smooth journey. But what made it smooth, what made it successful is what we are going to see. The journey started very slow and very steady, but very educated. Very small number, as Dr. P. Muhammad was saying today in the meeting. 27 students, you are joking? You want me to come and bring all my operations, my experience, my reputation overseas for this number of students? What are you talking about? It's not easy decision. And it requires big courage, entrepreneurial thinking, and great vision. And to my understanding, it requires a big heart and a high level of EQ to understand and to see that this relation with 27 students with a small start is going to grow this big. Again, remember, 1995. Nothing, no history. With this transitional experience, not only the relationship has brought the knowledge and experience to institution, but also to the entire country. But imagine again, at that time, we had only one higher education institution in the country. No culture, no systems, no practices. So what we have today is not only for CCE, Caledonian College of Engineering, but it was for the entire sector, for the entire country, including the ministry. The ministry, the officials in the country have learned through us, through this relation. So when you really look at the benefits of this transitional education, it's huge, it's countless. All activities were introduced slowly, steadily, and therefore we are the first institution who has all the systems, all the structure that is required for higher education institutions. We also have, remember, different affiliations, different relations, because the relationship or the transition or the partnership is a requirement to establish higher education institution in Oman. But are they all the same? One of the key factors of the success for the transitional education is the commitment at all levels. Our relation has grown from strength to strength over the 22 years. But there were always ups and downs in the relation. There was a time that we had excellent relations at the top level, but it was hazy at the middle level, because at the beginning, the road was so muddy that not even people at the operational level didn't want to actually be associated with, because the fear this might going to fail. But because of the vision and the commitment at the top level, at the governance level, which was the main driver and pusher of the success. And therefore, there is an investment in time and efforts at all different levels. And that made the relation and the transition successful and a success story. There were times that individuals were hesitant and want to withdraw. But because of a strong hold of the main drivers, this went on. I remember whenever we come to blocks, we have, we have something to hold with. And we go to our chairman, and we go to the Professor Pamela, we have this issue. Oh, it's not issue, it's very simple. We can do it in this way. Simple. This is all because of the commitment, because this is all because of there is a vision that this is going to work. After 7 years, GCU has recognized 7 years of hard work, commitment, dedication, investment. Okay, now you can go to the next step. we can allow you to do. And that was designed. It was not like there were institutions who were given power right from the beginning, but they struggled in the middle. They were about to collapse if the government was not there to support them. As I said, this was slow but steady. Little, but it was very, very well educated. And therefore, it has taken its time in the life cycle to get the knowledge, gain the capacity, build the skills, the knowledge, and our efforts were recognized, officially and formally recognized by GCU to offer our own degrees in the country. And that was a significant achievement at that time, to have your own degree in the country. It's a big achievement. As Dr. P. Muhammad said at the beginning, we had a number of deans, formally deans, like, I'm the fifth, but there were also acting deans in between. And you have to think, why? Why is that so? Why you had acting dean? The road must have been very muddy. It was not easy. The journey was never easy. And people had to withdraw. But there was the strong belief that this is going to work. And they kept on pushing, they kept on supplying, even with the human resources, secondments, even if they were temporary basis. But because of this commitment, and because of this vision that this is going to work, this is going to be a history, this is going to be a successful story, it continued. And all these different deans came at a very special time with a very special skill and with a very, I don't know whether it was we were blessed. I think also the blessing was there because we believe that it's already been written that this is going to be a successful story. And therefore we had, Professor David Millers, who was like the first dean, concentrated on building the systems and building the academic structure to really have a solid foundation for the institutions to grow. The second dean, Professor Gordon, who has come at the time that, again, we are talking about really new setup with no marketing experience, with no recruitment experience, so all the efforts made to build up the system, the entire marketing package, is also part of the business. How you are going to make this transnational education successful without having the business aspect into it. It's education, yes, but it is a business at the end of the day, and it has to go according to the market mechanisms. And we were lucky that we had a dean who was expert in that. And build up Dr. Bill Lowry, who was an expert also in the academic areas, and then build up all these boards and committees and department structures. These are all the backbone of the higher education institutions, which were, for us in the country, was new. The dean has also to be around skilled, and sometimes you have to dance with the students, you have to make a life. Again, higher education in our context was something really new. We even struggled to make people understand that they have to pay for the education, because the entire education system in Oman was like free. All the services were free. You come and ask me to pay for it. It was a big change in the culture, and we have to educate the society for that. Let's skip this. As I said, there were different focuses, different areas to focus based on the different needs and demands at the time of the operation. And then this came up. We had the review of the operations every 2 years, every 3 years by GCU, by ourselves internally, and we find many loops that need to be sorted out. Again, remember here, as I said, there's a culture change all the time. There is a different focus of different leadership, and therefore you have to drive the whole team towards that change. And we are very well blessed by having a really dedicated team who actually the actual driver of this transnational, it's the actual driver of this relation, who actually worked very hard. We have staff members who are with us since the beginning of the start, and I think from both institutions, or not only from the CCE. And that dedication tells you a lot of the stories. That dedication, that efforts that they make, the timeless and unlimited efforts that they make to make things work, is one of the factors that made this relation really a successful one. And of course, team from both sides are important. And building the relationship between the teams are very important. Building relation between the individuals is very important. And one of the element of make this relation a success is also building relations at the personal level. So the visits, the exchanges, the two-way traffic has built up really good relations with the staff. There was a time that the management were talking very well, the middle management talking well, but the staff at the academic level, they were not talking to each other. And the transnational will not be completed, and the cycle is not complete if this communication is not at the same quality, at the same level, or at the different levels. So we had to work very hard how we can do, how we can make these academics, for example, talk to each other. There was a time it says, whatever comes from GCU, that's it. Who told you? Whatever comes to GCU, that's it. You have to discuss it. You have to challenge it. GCU is 1,000 miles away. You don't know what is your need, what is your local need, what is your country need. You have to discuss. You have to debate. And if you don't have that culture, it will not happen. And you have to work really very hard to make that culture. So you have to build this interpersonal relation at all different levels. The programs, to diversify the program, to bring different and new. These are all result of a good relation. It's a result of all, a frank and good quality system. So when and how you make a decision that, okay, this program is not working. Oh, this is need to be changed, or this is not going to be relevant anymore. If you don't have that QA system working very well, it will not happen. The ministry, for example, many times asks us, have you ever stopped any program? I said, yes, because they think like what comes from overseas, it goes on and on and on forever, which is not the case in our situation. It's not the case. We have revised, we have stopped, we have developed, we have introduced so many programs based on our QA system. And because that QA system is working very well, these things were happening. as an institution, we were not allowed to, because we are known as an engineering institution, specialized in engineering, and I felt there is a time, that was the time that we have to diversify our portfolio. And because we are marked as engineering, we were not allowed to, bring business or IT or whatsoever. So we had to work innovatively to introduce all these new programs in different ways to overcome the ministry's practices and regulation. And that requires a lot of efforts from both sides, because ministry or the regulatory body in Oman will not allow you to do anything if your partner is not with you. So therefore, again, the support of GCU has helped in diversifying, but it was like a teamwork from both sides. Another factor which actually motivated the overseas partner is our commitment to investment. There is a steady and clear strategic planning of this institution, and that is another motive. Okay, these people are serious. These are not like just come and give us your programs. We will run it in Oman and that's it. But there is a real commitment, and this was like built right from the beginning. And we were the first college who has the strategic plan in the sector in Oman. And that has been commended and recognized in many occasions. These are the different pictures of showing our commitment right from the 1997 opening of different campuses, different blocks, different facilities in the college, which has been very significant in this journey. This shows also our commitment to the investment, our commitment to the mission of the college. Now, why I'm saying all this, we had a lot of internal scheme where we tried to develop our capacity, improve our delivery system, sending our staff in different programs for developing and increasing. All these are very important in this transnational education system, because we have to be in par with our partner. You can't have a partner who is like always needing a help or always needing an assistant. You have to grow with your partner, and your partner will be motivated when they see that you are actually in par with the system, with your capacities, with your human resources, with your level of investment. They are actually evaluating you. Again, there are many other partnerships who only you see them at the graduation ceremony. And that's why our relationship and our partnership is exemplary in the country. All our practices, all our systems are actually copied by other institutions and by the different legislations bodies, because this is an example. This is the good example. This is the best example that they have. And we have to also produce knowledge and expertise so that we are in par with our partners, and our partners also learning. So it's not one-way traffic, it's a two-way traffic. It has to be a two-way traffic, so both are benefited from this relation. Empowerment of staff and students was one of the areas that needed to happen at a time. Because if we have to take responsibility, if you have to take the if we come and to ask our partner that we want more autonomy in our system, we want to have more power, we have to show and demonstrate that we have the capabilities. Otherwise, we will not get it. We will not grow. The partner overseas will not grow if they are not developing the systems, the capacities in par with the partners. It will be imbalanced relationship. We have introduced different schemes for that purpose. This shows our numbers of, again, Omanization. If you know, if for those who don't know, is a national scheme to increase the nationals in different capacity in all different sectors. And for that, you need heavy investment in training your local staff. And GCU in our context has played a vital role in upgrading the Omani staff and bringing them gradually from one level to another to the level that today we proudly say that we have nationals at different level in different level of operation. Staff portfolio, the growth showing the number of the staff growth. At the time, we were like 400 staff. Again, this is a signal of the commitment, the level of commitment, and in diversifying and bringing the human resources to support the different programs in the college. Empowering students goes in line. Again, if you remember, there was like a notion in QAA that empowering and bringing students with engaging students. This was engagement was a big issue in QAA, and we have taken that on board, and then we have made a lot of program schemes so that we are in par with international standards, because we knew that this transnational relations is going to be looked at in that manner, because we have to be fulfilling the international standards and fulfilling the QA requirements, because we know our partners are going to be questioned and they will be looking at us as an example. So we have to play a role in safeguarding our partners' reputation and branding. The students winning different awards and enriching their experience was a part of, is a result of all the development that happened in the college. We are now 29 nationalities. Again, this is a replicant of what's happened in overseas institutions. Diversified staff portfolio, diversified students population. These are very well in par with international standards. And of course, this high population of female students was again first time drawn our attention. It was the GCU, and particularly Professor Ian, who said that this isn't a selling point for you. You have to market, or you have to take this as a positive sign, because many international institutions struggle to get that figure, that number, especially in engineering, and therefore we have taken that on board. See, for us, it was like natural development, because that was a trend in Oman. But taking that as a selling point, taking that as a distinction for the college was drawn by the partner. And as a result, we have established the Women in Engineering Forum, and now it is a part of the Oman Engineering Society. And it's growing because we power to influence industry, because there are a lot of graduates are going to the industry, and then they need to be provision for the female engineers. Until then, all the industries actually were not ready to accept, especially in engineering discipline, that women coming into men's domain job. So this forum was made to actually work as an influencer and discuss the challenges that the engineering women face in the industry, and then how to sort them out within a bigger entity. So this is going hand in hand with the directions of the country to empower the female graduates to work together with men. And of course, this the active memorandum of understanding within the country, and then also emphasizing, as Dr. P. Muhammad Ali said, about the research emphasis. Again, if you look at the college levels in Oman, we are the first or the best who invest in research and actually research active. Many colleges at our level actually they do research, but not as us, because we believe that research is again an important part of our teaching and learning experience. And it's a mission of the college that to become a referral center, and therefore a lot of investment, a lot of activities has taken place in terms of research and collaborations with the industry, so that they have the connections, so that we can provide solutions to the industry. And that's happening through our CRI building, which is dedicated for the research activities. These are some infrastructure that we use for the research, for the teaching as well as for the research. And this also helped in bringing the master programs and enhancing the master's degree programs experience for the students, because this infrastructure is there, the capabilities is there. And this, of course, resulted in collaborative learning and different methodology of learning, different scheme of learning, as a result of all these investment and the result of all these enhancement in facilities and infrastructure. Our students compete at international level in different competition. And this is the result of this internationalization of the curriculum. We now produce better capable graduates. We have strong quality systems. And this is all because of this dedicated and investment in efforts and time from both sides. As I said, this relation is not limited to just deliver the program as in here. We have come out with innovative approaches in delivery. We have come to innovative, different, new methods of delivering, and so that throughout the experience we have learned how to streamline our relations, streamline our academic programs, deliver it differently. So we are growing as institution from both sides as a result of this collaboration. There is always other sides of this transitional education, which is actually reinforcing your brand name overseas and advocating for you. We consider ourselves like ambassadors of GCU in this relation. And therefore, whenever there were the issues, I remember when in media, in social media, there were, for example, the issue with the visas, with this, it became the parliament, and then, there is some issue with this. No, then we are there as a local partners, we go and defend, and we talk about it, and we explain to the society what is the reality, what is truth. And that helped building the partners' reputation and brand name in the country. So there were so many different ways of benefiting each other. As Professor Pamela said at the beginning, we have gained a lot of awards in different categories, different areas. These are all actually formal recognition of sound relation and solid systems that we have in place. These are external recognition. These awards are as a result of a comprehensive evaluation of this relation. So we have like a third party recognizing the strength and the solidity of this partnership. And these awards not only for institution, but also for at the students level, also at the graduate level. So again, this is a solid recognition of the efforts at institutional level, at individual levels, as well as the students and graduate levels. So this is a complete spectrum of proof that this relation or this transitional education system that we have established 22 years ago is working very well. This was the last leadership award that we got in the country. As I said at the beginning, one of the main ingredients of success in this relation is the leadership and how to manage different relations. Generally management is, we say, is like a challenging aspect, Prof. David. But managing academics is completely different game, because managing different minds and different principles, different level of expertise is really not an easy. And managing two institutions, academic institution, requires very, very strong leadership. Without the belief of your governance, without their trust in this, in the management or in the structure of the institution, without their support, this won't be possible. And this requires really a high level of risk-taking, high level of individual trust and belief, and also guidance, blended all together, will result in a success. And the result, as I said at the beginning, because of this, today we are proudly saying that we are the first engineering college in the country to be accredited by OAAA. This is again high-level recognition of our system, our relation, our programs, our practices that makes the successful higher education institution. It's an proof that we have all the ingredients of higher education institution. And today, again, as Dr. P. Muhammad said, we are nuclear of the National University. And this is very proud that we play a very vital role in establishing the university. Alongside, we recently also got IET Activation, again, another badge on our chest. But again, GCU's role was very, very vital in granting the international accreditation. We have not built the capacity. We have built the experiences, and we thank the individual staff of GCU who has helped us in the process. You see, the result of we get the IEEE accreditation is because we have gone through all these international accreditation processes. Now, any institution that comes to CCE, they just can't believe that we have all this infrastructure and system in place. When they come for any evaluation, they are just shocked to see the level of knowledge in higher education systems and the smooth management of the processes is just amazing. It's just amazing, because the externals, when they come from international, from different countries. They have mixed expectations, but when they come and see a place which is fully fledged with hall, they just get surprised, from where you got all this? But this is the result of a true learning and doing, because if we were not actively involved in the process, we wouldn't have learned all these systems and all these experiences. Now, we are very proud as the entire body of the college. Every individual has rich experience that can proudly say, yes, I have learned from this relation. Not only from our side, I'm sure this goes with overseas partners as well. In conclusion, I would like to summarize the main ingredients of a success of a transnational education: strong governance, support, flexibility in negotiation of interest. You have to be flexible in order to be successful. If you are strict, you break, as we say. The willingness of making it work is very, very crucial, because especially at the beginning, when you walk in that muddy road, you get stuck in many different aspects. If you don't have this strong willingness to go ahead, you will stop at that stage. A strong peer relation is very crucial at different levels. And remember this individual and group dynamics that can work, together. Sometimes they work against each other, and you have to be aware of those, and you have to sort them out. You have to manage them in a way that they work for you, not against you. Clear and free channels of communication. There's no barriers between us when we come to communicate, when we come to talk to each other. And that was well established right from the beginning. And this is very unique. It's not there in every affiliations. It's not there. That the systematic way of communication is not there. I know many affiliations, even within the UK higher education institution, the way we established the communication systems is not there anywhere else. We are so proud of that. Understanding of culture is a big thing, especially at the beginning. When we come to note down our diaries for holidays, we will tell GCU, please wait. Why wait? 12 December is 12 December. Why we have to wait until to know what's... Okay, the last week of December is holiday in UK. What is your holidays? We'll wait until the moon comes out and we'll see. So such things are not clear if you are, especially at the beginning. So you have to be accommodating and understanding. And that's we have noticed the team in GCU. They were very understanding, very accommodating, and really appreciate that. Transparency, honesty, of course, goes without saying it. That the intentions has to be very clear. What you want to do really has to be on the table. There is no hidden agenda, and that is one of the again the driver of a good partnership, because there is a clear agenda, there's a clear vision, there's a clear roadmap that you are working with. I mentioned communications many different ways, because communication is, as we know in management, there is no organization which does not have communication problems. And if you don't get it right, it can spoil everything. So communication is the key at all different levels. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Professor Al-Bulushi, if you just wait there, we've got some questions and answers.
Sure.
But thank you for that fascinating journey from 27 students in 1996 to 4,000 students in 2015, and your journey on to be the National University of Science and Technology in Muscat. We're very proud as a school to be part of that partnership, and would like to continue partnership working with you in the new entity.
Sure.
You spoke about vision, courage and enterprise underpinned by active and authentic leadership. I think we can all relate to that. You spoke about the journey being muddy from time to time, the road being muddy from time to time, but I think we got through that. And you spoke about connections at all levels. I think that's something that's really come on board the last few years, and it's testament here, the staff that have attended, that are delivering on the ground, and that's partly due to yourself, our own staff, and the leadership of both organisations.
Correct.
You spoke about the college transforming a nation. We're very proud to be partners in transforming that nation. It's a model that's been cloned many times. Imitation is said to be the best form of flattery, and long may that continue. So, colleagues, do we have some questions now for Professor Al-Bulushi? And could you state your questions succinctly and loudly for the benefit of the mic? Imad?
Thank you for the presentation. I'm just wondering, are you planning to expand beyond Muscat to other areas in Oman as well?
So are you planning to expand beyond Muscat and to other areas of the country?
As a university, we already expanded. Now we have campuses in, we'll be having campuses in Sohar and 3 campuses in Muscat. And there are talks. We have not discussed this, openly, but there are a couple of free zone areas that are coming up, and there are potential for engineering training. We might consider that as well.
Can I ask a double-barreled question, if that's okay? The Malaysian education system is seen as one that we should commend because of its connectivity between the different levels in the education system and the stakeholders. When I've taught in Oman, it seems to be a big jump from the state system to the Caledonian College system. At the same time, oil prices are being squeezed and the ministry has got much less money. So what are your key big challenges that you're going to have to face over the next year, and how do you see yourself overcoming those?
I always tell the ministry, we are glad that you don't have money, because that means that we have a lot of students in the market. And with our market efforts, because we trust ourselves, and we know there was a time in, I think, 2011, when we had to close the gate from people to enter. Yeah? We had to close the gate because we were full in 2-3 days' time, because there were a lot of candidates outside in the market. When the ministry doesn't have enough scholarships, that's good news for us, not bad news for us. That's how I see it.
I was going to ask you to start with a difficult question, David. Any other questions? Mike?
What do you think the opportunities are for research in Oman
tremendous opportunities for research. Oman requires a lot of technologies that streamline different sectors and different businesses. Today morning we were talking about the water management, clean water. There is the oil and gas industry requires a lot of solutions. Supply chain management we were talking about few days ago, myself and the chairman in the ministry. They are looking for technologies that streamline the logistic business, that can provide qualified human resources who can work with international suppliers or international operators. So there are tremendous opportunities for the research, but we have to get the right expertise and the right technology to the country. Yes. Thank you.
I'm sure there must be more questions. I'll just ask one while we're thinking about that. Ahmed, when we first started communicating, ICT was not as advanced, and your weekend was Thursday and Friday. You only recently changed to align with other sects in the Middle East. There was a 4 or 5 hour difference. So you spoke a lot today about communication. Those are pretty challenging circumstances under which to communicate as partners. How did we do that? Effectively, on 3 days of the week and half a day each day. What was your secret?
The telecom conference?
Well, any communications between GCU, because when we started out, your weekend was Thursday, Friday.
Yes.
And there was 4 or 5 hour time difference, and we still managed to talk, we still managed to get things done. What was our secret?
I always think the communication with the UK is much easier than America. We have also partners in America, but it's a day and night time difference, so it's more challenging there than in here. We are only 3 hours different, and we are only 1 day apart from, only Friday is a different, otherwise,
It wasn't always that way, but
yeah, it was not well there, but I think we managed. And then also you have seen the picture, there's too much of communications face to face. So there's too much of commitment and too much of dedication and in this relation. It's not only using the technology, using the, now of course we are using technology, but if you go back in, again, thinking of 1995, 96, 97, those days even internet was not there, right? But still, this relations, picked up, and because of this, the visits that used to happen, and this is, by the way, the only relationship with the overseas partner that there is a constant visit at all different levels, and it's happening since the start, and still going on, and this is one of the features of this relation.
Thank you. Yeah. We have a question from Dr. Martin Cullen, I think. Where was Martin? If you don't mind, Principal, just point out that Martin, as you've seen in the presentation, as you well know, was the acting principal of CCE back in '96, put in place by Dr. Muhammad Ali. And I mentioned this. I mentioned this.
Martin.
I wouldn't normally single Martin out, but he leaves the university quite soon after many years of service, and this will be your last formal engagement, I think, with
sorry, I forgot to mention about
Martin.
And Martin asked me the question about 2 staff, both of them died, and I was surprised. How does he know that? One was the engineer who was building the institution, Khan, and Abdul Qadir, who was the administrator. Both of them, but they worked as a team. Thank you for that, putting that initial setup on that. Yeah. Sorry.
So yes, Martin, thank you for all your efforts. I think we were out there for 6 weeks and stayed 6 months, if I remember right.
Well, it was almost that, yes. I would like to add what Dr. Muhammad Ali said. There's the people behind the college. They're not the academics who really deserve credit, including himself. If he didn't have the vision, we would never have been approached. If he didn't have the commitment and the financial commitment and the support of providing Mr. Abdul Qadir, who was there all the time, who supported, it would never happen. So congratulations to P. Muhammad Ali, because without him it wouldn't have happened.
Definitely.
But my question is that it's commendable that there are 52% female, which is really good. And
52.
It's superb. Going back 22 years ago, that was really not the way things were. Really, there was a few women who were interested, but they weren't too sure whether they'd have a job. What do you think was the success? How did you manage to come from that space of 22 years to have a majority of female students?
When I joined the college in 2010, there were only students, female students in telecommunications. And since then, since 2010, 2011, the number of students grew in different disciplines drastically. Now the situation is as when I go and visit classes, I see minority, like sometimes I see only one male student, the majority are female. When you walk in the corridors in the college, you won't see boys, you will see female students going around. It's really dominating. I didn't do anything much about it, it just happened. But I think the sectors, and engineering sectors in the industries, they are very promising in terms of the jobs and professions. And we really have very talented female, so they work very hard, they are intelligent, they have very high grades in the high schools, and they are the majority who actually gets the scholarships. So the secret is in their hard working. Yep.
Professor Al-Bulushi, don't you think it was the appointment of a very powerful role model like Her Excellency Ruby Al-Bulushi?
And Professor Ahmed Al-Bulushi, partner university.
Yes.
She provided a role model for young Omani women. Very strong. Gosh, she scares me. I tell you. But I think that was a very, very important appointment, which gave a lot of young women hope.
Yes, and also the government always been like right from the beginning when His Majesty actually took the control of the country, and says that we have to develop and give equal opportunity to our female to participate in the development of the country and to participate in national economy. So this drive was there right from the beginning, and that's why they got the opportunities for education and all that. But then later really is the industry attractiveness which really made the female to go into the mainly male-dominated disciplines.
Okay, well, one last question from Professor Angeli, and then I'll ask the principal to close the proceedings.
The female. Being one of the few female engineers here in UK, so it was commendable. We have 52% majority of females doing engineering. However, what I notice when I go to do the MSc, there aren't many females in the MScs. There's like one female in the first cohort, and there's like a couple the second cohort, and there's nobody in the last cohort. I was just there in last week of March. So I was wondering, would that, in future, would that change with more females? Obviously, there will be the natural trickle effect from having so many undergraduates. At the moment, they're not following through. Like, for example, MSc Maintenance Management Program, this last cohort, is 26 males. And most of them are from the college, they graduates, but they work in industry. So I was wondering where the females went in this.
The trend will change, but I tell you also the female role in the society is also different. Their ambition also to do further education is influenced by different social factors. And after the graduation, they have different intentions, the different goals. So they will take time to go into the master programs. But the trend will definitely change as it changed in undergraduate. I just said that 2010 you will not find many female, but now it's majority. So the same thing will happen. The same trend actually will shift to the master programs as well. You have two examples in here doing masters.
Of colleagues, I'm conscious of time, so I'd like to call on our principal, Principal Gillies, to close the proceedings and open the refreshments.
Yep, well, just thank you everybody so much for coming to this very special inaugural lecture. Thank you for your analysis and that walk through history. I've seen some of those old photographs and think, gosh, I've still got a long way to lose. Fantastic walk through history. Thank you very much for your analysis.
My pleasure.
Thank
you.
Especially to Dr. P. Mohammed Ali for being with us on this very special day. Thank you for making the journey. And congratulations. And now we can have a wee cup of tea or coffee.
Thank you.
Very much.